Sienna Miller fires back at harsh judgment over birth of second child. Sienna Miller is speaking out about the unfair and often harsh judgment that women face when they become mothers, especially when it comes to the timing and circumstances of having children. The 43-year-old actress, who welcomed her second child in December 2023, has been vocal about the misogynistic and outdated attitudes that still persist toward motherhood and women's reproductive choices. In a candid interview with ELE, Sienna opened up about her experience of becoming a mother again later in life and the surprising, and sometimes offensive, reactions she received. The actress, who is also the mother of 12-year-old daughter Marlo, did not hold back when addressing the double standards surrounding motherhood, age, and societal expectations. A double standard in motherhood. Sienna Miller has always been known for her refreshing honesty and willingness to speak openly about her life, and this time was no different. Reflecting on the birth of her second daughter, Sienna shared that the public reaction to her pregnancy and decision to have another child in her 40s was not as supportive as one might expect. Instead, it was riddled with judgment and sexist undertones. "I now have a 12-year-old, Marlo, and a 14-month-old. I think there's a whole load of noise and people have a lot to say, and it's incredibly gendered and unbelievably misogynistic and anti-feminist. It's insane," Sienna stated. The actress pointed out that while men are often celebrated for fathering children at an older age, with Hollywood icons like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro recently making headlines for becoming fathers in their 80s, women face a very different narrative when they decide to have children later in life. "Have all the babies at any time you want to have the babies," Sienna urged. "And no one has anything to say about, and I love these people and their friends, which I like to name drop, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro having kids in their 80s. Forget about your age. It's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant." This stark contrast in how men and women are treated when it comes to parenthood highlights a deeply ingrained societal bias. Men are often praised for their virility and ability to have children at any age, while women are subjected to questions, criticism, and even ridicule if they choose to have children outside of the typical prime childbearing years. The pressure and judgment faced by mothers. Sienna's comments have struck a chord with many women who have faced similar judgment and scrutiny when it comes to their decisions about motherhood. The idea that there is a right time to have children, or that women must adhere to a specific timeline based on outdated biological and social norms, is one that continues to persist despite advances in medicine, changing social dynamics, and greater awareness about reproductive health. Women are often told that their value is tied to their ability to have children and raise a family, but at the same time, they are criticized if they have children too young, too old, or under circumstances that don't fit the conventional mold. Sienna's experience is a reflection of this complex and often contradictory messaging that women face. "I'm a better mother now, and it's a much more grounded experience," Sienna said. She emphasized that becoming a mother again in her 40s has been a completely different, and in many ways, more rewarding, experience than when she became a mother for the first time in her early 30s. "I know myself better now and I'm more confident in my choices. There's a calmness that comes with age and experience, and that's made me a more patient and present mother," she added. Sienna's comments highlight an important point. Motherhood is not a one-size-fits-all experience. Women should be free to choose when and how they have children without fear of judgment or social backlash. The cultural obsession with women's bodies and choices. Part of the judgment that Sienna faced stems from a broader cultural obsession with women's bodies and reproductive choices. From a young age, women are taught that their value is tied to their appearance, their ability to bear children, and their role as caregivers. When a woman chooses to have a child in her 40s, or decides not to have children at all, it challenges these deeply rooted expectations. Women are expected to do it all: maintain a successful career, be a loving and present mother, stay physically attractive and age gracefully, all while facing constant criticism and unrealistic standards. Sienna also pointed out the hypocrisy in how older fathers are treated versus older mothers. While men like George Clooney, Alec Baldwin, and Mick Jagger have been applauded for fathering children later in life, women are often warned about geriatric pregnancies and face questions about whether they are too old to keep up with their children. "The language itself is so telling," Sienna said. A 40-year-old woman is described as having a geriatric pregnancy. But a man can father a child at 70 or 80 and it's seen as impressive. Why are we still holding women to a different standard? Normalizing motherhood at any age. Sienna's decision to speak out about her experience is part of a larger conversation about the need to normalize motherhood at any age. Advances in fertility treatments, surrogacy, and adoption have made it possible for women to have children later in life, and yet the social stigma remains. High-profile women like Naomi Campbell, who became a mother at 50, and Janet Jackson, who had her first child at 50, have helped to challenge outdated norms around motherhood and age. But there is still work to be done in terms of shifting societal attitudes and breaking down the double standards that women face. Sienna hopes that by sharing her story she can encourage other women to feel empowered in their reproductive choices. It's your body, your life, and your decision. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty or ashamed for choosing to have a child, or for choosing not to, she said. She also addressed the pressure that many women feel to bounce back after giving birth, another unrealistic expectation that places unnecessary strain on new mothers. Your body just created life. That's incredible. Give yourself grace. Don't let society's obsession with youth and perfection take away from the miracle of what your body has done, Sienna said. A message of empowerment. Sienna's message is ultimately one of empowerment and self-acceptance. By speaking out about the misogyny and double standards that women face around motherhood, she hopes to create more space for women to make choices without fear of judgment. We have to stop policing women's bodies and choices, Sienna said. Motherhood is not one size fits all. Whether you have a child at 20, 40, or not at all, it's your life, your decision. And you deserve to be supported, not criticized. Sienna's words serve as an important reminder that the path to motherhood and womanhood is unique for every individual. There is no right way to be a mother, and there is no right time to have a child. What matters most is that women feel supported and empowered to make the choices that are best for them. Her candidness has already sparked an important conversation about the need to challenge societal norms and celebrate